Hey Caitlin, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing active range of motion for external rotation. So the way that I'm going to have you do that is we're going to have you lying in a supine position, and then we are going to be resting your elbow on top of this towel so that it's in line with your shoulder. So go ahead and scoot a little over to your left for me. So from here, we want to make sure that we are 90 degrees abducted and our elbow is at a 90-degree angle as well. In this position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be lining up the fulcrum to the olecranon process right over here. And then the stationary arm is going to be parallel to the floor, and the moving arm is going to bisect the ulna, lining up to the ulnar styloid process. From here, before I have you do that, I'm going to have you go through the full range of motion first. So for external rotation, we're going to bring the top of your wrist back as far as you can, and then come back into place. Any pain or sensations with that? So we're going to do that the same thing, but measuring this time. So from here, we're going to go down as far as we can and then hold it right over there. Good. And then from this position, we are at 80 degrees of external shoulder rotation. Normal ranges are between 0 and 90. Some compensations that could happen with external rotation is the lower back trying to round, so that way we can go into a more increased range of motion, as well as the shoulder coming up to further that increase of range of motion. Some of the muscles that we're working with is for the external rotators is like the infraspinatus, the supraspinatus, as well as the teres minor. So the next test we are going to do is a deep neck cervical flexor endurance test. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to be testing all of the muscles in the upper cervical region, which includes the longus colli and the longus capitis. And then from there, what you're going to do is in this position, you're going to bring your chin as close as you can to your neck. So just flexing the upper neck, and from there, lifting your head off of the table about 2 centimeters. You're going to be holding it there as long as you can, roughly around 38.95 seconds for somebody without pain, and about 24 seconds for somebody who does have pain. Okay, you can go ahead and bring your head down. Some of the compensations that you'll feel with that is tightness in the suboccipital muscles that could be contributing to the weakness of the deep flexor cervical muscles. The next thing we're going to do is active range of motion for forearm supination. So the way that we're going to do that is I'm going to have you tuck your elbow to the side on your right side, and from here in a neutral position, we're going to go ahead and bring our palm to the ceiling as far as we can, making sure this elbow does not move out of place, and come back into neutral. Any pain or symptoms with that? Okay. So the way that we're going to measure that is we're going to be lining up the goniometer. The fulcrum is going to be a little bit proximal to the ulnar styloid process on the ventral side, and the stationary arm is going to be in line with the humerus, and the moving arm is going to be following the motion to be parallel to both styloid processes of the forearm. So from here, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go ahead and supinate as far as you can, and it's going to follow, making sure to stay in line with that. And from here, I got about 85 degrees of supination. Normal ranges is between 0 to 80 degrees, so you do have a little bit more of mobility with supination. Some of the things that could happen with compensation is wanting to bring your elbow forward to go into more of a supinated position. The muscles that help with supination is going to be the biceps brachii muscle, as well as the supinator on the dorsal side.